All right, so what we're going to do is start from your guys' Twitter home screen. So first thing you want to do is just I want everybody to click into their profile real quick. So click on your name, your picture. It's going to take you to your home screen. Just double check your backgrounds and make sure that it's something that is appealing and makes sense for your audience. I don't want to spend a ton of time on this today. We'll do a different training on this later. But just so you know, you can go in and click Edit Your Profile over on the right-hand side. And you can change your personal photo. You can change this background photo. You can see I've got the new arena up here. You can go over on the left-hand side of the screen and change your description of who you are. Obviously, you want to put things that are going to apply to your audience. I have the golden1center.com website is one of the websites I list. You can change your theme color. I've selected purple for obvious reasons. So make sure that that is appealing and clean and represents what you want your customers to see if you're going to be active on Twitter. Once you would do that, you would click Save Changes. So that's just a quick tip if you guys hadn't done that before. I'm going to back out of here. Our training today is actually going to focus on the advanced search function, and this should just take us about 15 minutes of training. So again, if you guys want to follow along, that's great. I'm actually recording this so I can send it out to you guys later as well. But if you guys have ever used the search function in Twitter, it's up here at the top. If you can kind of see that at the top of the screen. What I'm going to do right now is just show you what a typical search function would look like. So if I typed in basketball, I'm going to get all kinds of stuff that come up here. Thousands and thousands and thousands of tweets that have the word basketball somewhere in them. And if you look at the top of the menu bar here, there are a couple different options. So you can actually see live, which will give you a quick look at live Twitter feed of who has the word basketball in there. It'll show you accounts that have the word basketball somewhere in the description. It will give you photos. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on photos. There might be things we don't want to see on there. But that'll show you things that are related to basketball. And again, you can click on those and find out who's posting those photos. And videos, if something like that might be applicable as well. All right. The one thing I really want to talk about today is this More Options function, though. So if you look on the far right of the menu board, there's the More Options function. So if I hit drop down right there, you can see a bunch of things that will come up. So right now, the last thing I selected was videos. I could go back to all if I wanted. But if I go back to More Options right here, there's this really cool feature. Well, a couple quick things. So one, you could click on this just to see tweets that are near you. So if you guys are using this as a prospecting tool, that's probably one that's going to make more sense, so you can see who's tweeting about what you're searching that's just close to you. You could save this search. So if you have a key term search that you want to come back to often without having to retype in everything, you can just save it and you can access your saved searches often. Maybe it's something you check every day to see who's tweeting about basketball. Or you can use this advanced search button down here, and this is probably the one that most people haven't jumped into before. So I'm going to click on that. And it brings you to this advanced search screen, which is a really behind the scenes option in Twitter that they don't make very easy to find. But it's a powerful tool if you want to jump in and use it. So what I'm going to do here is show you guys what a search looks like. So if I want to look at basketball, for instance, as my search term, I'll type that in right there, and then you can do multiple words. You can do it where you want an exact phrase. So let's say I just wanted season tickets as my exact phrase. I could put that in there. If you want to exclude words, so you don't want the Lakers to show up when somebody's tweeting about basketball, you could type in Lakers right there. If you want to search for a specific hashtag, like Sacramento Proud, and everybody that's tweeting Sacramento Proud, you could put that right there. If we just want to see who's doing that in English, for instance, we can show that. If you want to get really specific and you're just looking for specific accounts, which is probably not what you're doing if you're using this for prospecting, you would use that here. You can also change the location. So I can actually do all of California, Roseville, Rockland, Citrus Heights, or I could type in something that was close to me. I'll use Sacramento for now. And when you turn that on, it's going to give you a 15-mile radius. So anybody who has location access turned on for their Twitter, you're going to pull up their tweets if they're within 15 miles of Sacramento. And then I can also do a date search. So if there were significant times that somebody might have been tweeting about basketball, maybe around the draft, and you want to see, I want to see who was tweeting about basketball during the draft, because they might be people that would be worth us contacting. So I'll back my search up to May 1st to today. So I've got 3 months worth of tweets that I'm going to look at here. And I click search. And it's going to give me all kinds of different stuff that comes up, right? Some of this may be totally not applicable. Some of it might be really applicable. And you can see at the top here in this purple bar my search terms that I've used to get very specific. So Obviously, you're going to see a lot of accounts and tweets from people that you know, but there might be other people that you didn't know and might be worth contacting or just getting in touch with, maybe outside of Twitter even, to find out what they're looking for. So, you know, who's this guy? Patrick Crawley. He's the sports editor at some maybe online blog or magazine. There's some season ticket holders that you'll see down here. There's people tweeting about Eric Moreland. A lot of people you know, Jim Crandall, Henry Turner, Crown Downtown. But then if you get deeper and deeper, there's these guys, right? Who's Darren McQuaid? He's tweeting about basketball. The Kings. You just keep going and going and going. This guy, Maxwell, right? He says we have the worst basketball team. Well, let's call him and set him straight, right? He says we got the best ice cream, which I don't know if that's true. The worst basketball team. Let's give this guy a call and find out what he's talking about. He's obviously interested, so it's an opportunity for you to tell our story. All kinds of great stuff in here. You know, Twitter's a hodgepodge of all kinds of things, so you got to kind of, you know, screen what you want. But if you really dig into it and look deep, you're going to find some stuff that might be worth you guys reaching out to, either on Twitter or maybe you look up these people in LinkedIn. You know, here's all these people. Look, Praise team at summer basketball camp. You know, are we contacting them about some of our group programs? And I mean, this guy's a church also, so we got a youth basketball opportunity and a church group night possibility here from John Spears. So you guys should get creative. You should go in and play around with this and find out how you might be able to use these advanced search terms. Those of you who get in and play around the most with it are probably going to find some really other creative things that I've never even looked at. And that's really what I want to show you guys today, is this advanced search functionality in Twitter, so you guys can get in and play around with it. There's really no way to do this wrong, and I'm sure some of you guys will find some really cool new opportunities that you can share with the group. So that being said, I'm going to, if you guys have questions here for the next few minutes, I just want to open it up so you can unmute your phone and jump in and ask us a question. Yeah, so I just clicked on I was going through the photos that matched my search term, and I clicked on one that looked like a kids youth basketball team. So here it is. I pulled it up, and I've got right here Tony Pena won our first game, the Bad News Bears of basketball. So like here's a very obvious group sales lead that we should be targeting, right? So I'd probably just reach out to Tony. I'd reply to this tweet. You can hit the reply button right here, and you know I'd reply Tony and say, Tony, congrats on the first win. Looks like you've got an all-star team. And just leave it at that. Just leave it at that. And he's going to see who you are. He's going to see your tweet and be like, wow, cool, like you work for the Kings. What's up? That's your opportunity to engage in the conversation. There's no need to sell Tony right away, to reply to Tony and say, wow, like you really need to get out and experience one of our group experiences. You don't need to do that right away. Have a conversation first, and then move into something where you build just a little bit of trust, a little bit of relationship that moves into a sales conversation. Because of who you guys are and who you work for, and if you're searching applicable terms, they're going to see that you work for the Kings. If you've set up your background right and put those terms in your profile to show that you work for the Kings, they're going to want to talk to you more if they really do have an interest. And somebody like Tony here is probably a really ideal target that we should be reaching out to. It's a great question. And then there's other ways to do it too. Real quick, again, you've got LinkedIn. You could search Tony in Salesforce and see if he already exists to give him a quick phone call. Same thing on the phone call though. I'd say, hey Tony, I just want to reach out to you. I actually, stumbled across a tweet that you sent the other day and just want to congratulate you on your youth basketball team's first win. Looks like you're a great coach. Leave it at that, man. That's a great voicemail to leave. That's an unexpected voicemail that Tony's probably going to receive, and I bet you have a better chance of him calling you back versus giving him a sales pitch. All right, my goal is to keep this under 15 minutes, so appreciate you guys' time. We'll try and do this once a week with something. Hope you guys found this valuable. I'll send out a recording of this too, just in case you guys want to go back and look at the steps, but everybody should jump in and at least check out the advanced search. I hadn't seen this yet. I hadn't tested this out yet. So literally in 10 seconds, I found this guy, Tony Pena, who seems like an easy group sales target. So it's obvious that there's value here, and hopefully you guys can check it out and play around with it. So thanks for your time, guys. Have a good day.